Hey guys, tonight we will journey back in time over 3,500 years to the sun-drenched shores of ancient Crete. You feel the warm Mediterranean breeze on your skin, smell the dry earth mixed with the distant tang of the sea, and hear the soft bleating of goats on the hills. You trudge along a dusty path, not on your way to a bustling city, but to a quiet workshop where you, a Minoan potter, will spend your days shaping the very earth. While it sounds idyllic, you probably wouldn't survive a single Minoan winter without modern medicine. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Also, let me know where you're listening from and what time it is. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's relax and begin tonight's journey together. You wake before the sun, the pre-dawn sky a soft gray over the eastern peaks. Your small, sturdy house, built of stone and mud brick, is simple but effective, keeping the cool night air in during the heat of the day. A common historical fact is that Minoan houses, even modest ones like yours, often featured several rooms, a central hearth, and sometimes even basic plumbing for drainage, quite advanced for the Bronze Age. You stretch, your muscles already anticipating the day's work. Your breakfast is humble, some fresh goat's milk, a piece of barley bread, and maybe a few olives or figs. A quirky piece of information is that Minoans were also big on saffron, using it not just for dye or flavor, but also in medicine and even religious rituals, so perhaps a pinch of saffron brightens your bread. Historians still debate whether Minoan society was truly matriarchal or simply highly egalitarian, but either way, your craft is respected. You grab your tools, a simple digging stick and a woven basket, and head out, the air still cool and fresh. The path winds through olive groves, their silver green leaves, shimmering in the nascent light. You know this path intimately as you follow it daily to the rich clay beds near a small stream. It's hard work, digging the heavy, damp earth. You scrape and dig, filling your basket with reddish-brown clay, which is a common fact about the local geology of Crete, providing excellent raw materials for pottery. It's not just any dirt. You've learned to feel for the right consistency, the absence of too many impurities. Sometimes you find small shells or pebbles, which you meticulously pick out later. A quirky bit of knowledge is that Minoan potters often used a unique levigation process, essentially washing the clay multiple times to remove impurities, resulting in incredibly fine and durable wear. It's like giving your clay a spa day, ensuring it's in peak condition for its transformation. You pause, wiping sweat from your brow, wondering how many generations have followed this same path, seeking the same earth. Historians still debate the exact methods Minoan potters used to process their clay for such consistent quality. Was it a secret family recipe or widely shared knowledge? Your back aches already, but there's a quiet satisfaction in the physical labor, knowing that this earth will soon take on a new life. Back at your workshop, a simple open-sided structure providing shade, the real work begins. You spread the clay on a clean stone slab, kneading it with your bare feet, then your strong hands, a rhythmic dance of pushing and folding. This removes air bubbles and achieves an even consistency, a common fact about pottery preparation in nearly every ancient culture. You've seen other potters skip this step, only to have their pots crack in the kiln, which is as frustrating as finding out your carefully crafted joke went over everyone's head. This careful preparation is crucial. A quirky tidbit is that some Minoan potters incorporated small amounts of volcanic ash from Thera into their clay, which acted as a natural temper, making the pottery stronger and more resistant to thermal shock during firing. You center a lump of prepared clay on your potter's wheel, a foot-powered device, not unlike a simplified version of a modern kick wheel. Historians still debate whether the Minoan potter's wheel was locally invented or introduced from cultures like Egypt or the Near East, but it's undoubtedly a game changer. You press your foot down, the wheel begins to spin, and with practiced hands, you coax the clay upwards, a cylinder forming, then widening, then narrowing into the elegant curve of a jar or amphora. With the basic form shaped, you meticulously refine its contours. Your fingers dance over the clay, smoothing imperfections, ensuring perfect symmetry. A common historical fact about Minoan pottery is its distinctive shapes, including elegant stirrup jars, delicate cups, and large storage pithoi, often designed for specific purposes like holding olive oil or wine. You might even be crafting one of those famous Kamara's ware cups thin as an eggshell, which were highly prized. A quirky detail is that Minoan potters often use marine motifs like octopuses, dolphins, and argonauts on their pottery, sometimes with such fluidity that it looks like the creatures are still swimming. It makes you wonder if they ever had a disgruntled octopus complain about being drawn with too many tentacles. You use small wooden tools to add incised lines or to attach handles, shaping them with an almost meditative focus. Historians still debate the degree of specialization among Minoan potters. Were some exclusively creating these intricate high art pieces, or did every potter strive for such mastery? The afternoon sun streams into your workshop, illuminating the fine dust that settles like powdered gold on your drying creations. Now for the artistry. You carefully apply slips and pigments, creating the vibrant decorations for which Minoan pottery is renowned. A common fact is that Minoan art, including pottery, often features naturalistic themes, lively colors like red, black, and white, and dynamic compositions. You might be painting an intricate spiraling pattern, or perhaps a delicate lily, or even a leaping dolphin catching its graceful arc midair. A quirky detail about Minoan pigments is that they often derive their colors from local mineral sources. For example, iron oxides for reds and purples, and carbon for black, showcasing a deep understanding of their natural environment. It's like having a paint store right outside your door, except you have to dig up all the raw materials yourself. You let out a small sigh, thinking about how much easier it would be if the colors just came in little tubs. Historians still debate the specific symbolic meanings of many Minoan decorative motifs. Were they purely aesthetic, or did they convey complex religious or societal messages? Once painted, the pots need to dry slowly and evenly, sometimes for days before they're ready for the heat of the kiln. The big day arrives, firing day. You carefully stack your dried pottery inside the kiln, a dome-shaped structure made of mud brick, often with a separate firing chamber below the pottery chamber, a common fact about early kiln technology. It's a delicate process, ensuring air circulation and even heat distribution. You meticulously arrange the pieces, ensuring none touch too closely, lest they fuse together during the intense heat, which is about as welcome as accidentally gluing your fingers to your pottery. A quirky fact is that Minoan kilns were often fueled with olive wood, which burns at a high, consistent temperature, perfect for vitrifying the clay into durable ceramic. Imagine a whole forest dedicated to making sure your pots don't crumble. You tend the fire for hours, sometimes through the night, regulating the temperature with careful additions of wood and adjustments to the vents. Historians still debate whether individual potters owned and operated their own kilns, or if larger communal kilns were shared by many artisans, perhaps located just outside a central palatial complex. The glow of the fire reflects on your face, a silent vigil over the transformation of earth to art. Days later, with the kiln cooled, you carefully unload your finished pottery. The transformation is complete. The once soft, fragile clay is now hard, vibrant, and ready for use. A common historical fact is that Minoan Crete was a major maritime power, engaging in extensive trade throughout the Aegean and Eastern Mediterranean, and your pottery was a valuable commodity in this network. You load a selection of your best pieces onto a donkey, or carry them yourself to the nearest market, perhaps a bustling square in Knossos or Phaistos. A quirky piece of information is that Minoan pottery, particularly the fine Camara ware, has been found as far away as Egypt, Syria, and the Cycladic Islands, acting as a kind of ancient maiden Crete stamp of quality. It's like your pots are going on their own little vacation, seeing the world far beyond your dusty path. You barter with merchants, perhaps exchanging a stirrup jar for some grain, or a delicate cup for a bolt of woven cloth. Historians still debate the precise economic systems of Minoan Crete. Was it a centralized palace economy, or did individual artisans like you have more independent control over your production and sales? As the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery oranges and soft purples, you return home, tired but content. You look at your hands, still bearing the faint stains of clay, and the empty space where your newest creations once stood, now off to serve their purpose. You remember that specific lump of clay, that particular design you struggled with, and the satisfaction of seeing it emerge perfectly from the kiln. A common historical fact is that Minoan civilization mysteriously declined around 1,450 BCE, with many theories ranging from natural disasters like volcanic eruptions to Mycenaean invasions. Yet, your pottery outlived the palaces. A quirky detail is that archaeologists today can often pinpoint the exact workshop or region a piece of Minoan pottery came from, not just by its style, but by analyzing the specific mineral composition of the clay itself, meaning your fingerprint, in a way, still exists. Historians still debate the true artistic and social significance of the pottery motifs. Were they simply beautiful, or were they a form of subtle communication, a visual language we are still trying to decipher? You contemplate the quiet dignity of your craft, how you, a humble potter, have contributed to the beauty and utility of your world. Now, as the ancient Cretan stars begin to pepper the velvet sky, imagine the gentle hum of the cicadas in the olive groves, a constant lullaby through the millennia. Your quiet journey as a Minoan potter draws to a close, your hands at rest, your mind filled with the satisfying weight of a day well spent. The echoes of the potter's wheel have faded, the warmth of the kiln has long since cooled, and the scent of fired clay drifts away on the evening breeze. Feel the soft blanket of sleep pulling you down, reassuring you that all is well. Let the images of ancient Crete, of sun and sea and earth, dissolve into the comforting darkness, carrying you into the deepest, most peaceful slumber. Just breathe, and let the quiet patience of that ancient life gently guide your own dreams. Sweet dreams.